Benedict Arnold. Pretty sure you've heard that name before. We are about to read about him. He is known as the Great Traitor, guy who messed it all up. Uh, the increasingly made poorer and poorer decisions, but also a military genius. He was discovered as a traitor on September 21st, 1780. The family that he had been born into was one of the very first to ever settle in Connecticut. As such, he would have been treated like, well, similarly to the aristocracy of Europe by the people of Connecticut. However, his father had been such a drunkard and had squandered much of the family fortune. As such, Benedict spent most of his life dreaming of what should have been, and he thought he deserved better. When the Revolutionary War broke out, Benedict proved himself to be a powerful patriot and an exceptional leader in combat. Early in the war at Fort Ticonderoga, he played pivotal, important roles in defeating the fort and taking its cannons down the mountains. However, it is Ethan Allen and his Green Mountain Boys who are generally considered to be in reception of the credit. They got famous off of it. Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys got famous for defeating Fort Ticonderoga and bringing the cannons down to give to George Washington. Arnold was infuriated, and his name was barely mentioned. He thought he deserved better. At the Battle of Saratoga, General Horatio Gates is said to have led the battle for an American victory. The truth is that many men wanted Gates to replace George Washington as the leader of the armies, and Arnold was an absolute supporter of Washington. Gates ordered that Arnold remain in his tent for the battle. Arnold disobeyed and fought in the Battle of Saratoga anyways. He just didn't fight. He excelled and through acts of immense bravery and skill helped turn the tide towards the American side for victory. However, his name was forgotten when it was time to issue promotions. Officers that were once beneath him in rank were now giving him orders. He thought he deserved better. Then Benedict met Peggy Shippen. He was 38 and she was 18, but they instantly fell madly in love. They married, however, there was a problem. Peggy was loyalist. Slowly, Peggy used the fact that he felt he deserved better to convince him to switch to the British side. George Washington was one of the only officers that truly appreciated Arnold, and he had given Arnold command of the fort at West Point. Benedict Arnold conspired. He made plans to give the fort at West Point without a battle to the British for 20,000 pounds. You give me lots of money, I give you military fort. A letter detailing all of this was discovered and sent to Washington. Arnold found out that he was discovered and immediately left to join the British Army. He fought for them for the rest of the war and was paid $10,000. Well, pounds. Sorry, this sign right here means pounds. That's British money. After the war, he was not allowed to remain in the British Army because they simply didn't trust him. He had betrayed his country. Once you're a traitor, people generally don't trust you anymore. During the war, he became a traitor. And afterwards, he became a trader of goods. He always thought that he deserved better. He always thought that he deserved better. The reality is that Benedict Arnold was facing political problems. There were too many officers from Connecticut that had been promoted, and he was one of them. So when it came time to make promotions, he had to wait until officers from other states got promoted. Congress was trying to play nice and make sure that all the states were represented in the army. He was not passed up because he was a poor general. He was passed up for politics, and he got fed up with that. Not to mention that his 18-year-old wife was whispering in his ear, telling him that you deserve better, you deserve better, you deserve better. She came from a ridiculously wealthy family. He should have, but had no money. And he was incredibly in debt trying to buy her all the things that she was used to having. And that's why he told General Clinton, I believe, of the British Army, that he would betray for 20,000 pounds. When he was discovered, Washington actually went to go see Peggy because Peggy didn't get away. And they confronted her and she freaked out, started crying, weeping. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. How could my husband betray? The reality was is Benedict was communicating with General Clinton by having Peggy write the letters because nobody would suspect a woman. Uh, she used the fact that people didn't take women seriously to help Benedict become a traitor. They were in it together. Although she did get away. She got away and she got to be with Benedict again. And eventually they moved up to England for a while, but the British didn't like them. And he moved to Canada and he ended up being a traitor. Trader, not traitor, like as in betrayed your country. So I hope that this has been entertaining and I hope that you're learning. Till the next one.